Hello everyone. Today we're tackling one of the most critical, absolutely non-negotiable duties of a school bus driver, getting across railroad tracks safely. There is zero, and I mean zero, room for error here. So let's jump right into the procedures that make sure every student on every trip gets over those rails safely.
So, let's kick things off with a question that gets right to the heart of the matter. It seems logical, right? No lights, no gates, no train. But for a school bus, the rules are built on absolute certainty, not just assumption. The reason why you can't just go is the foundation for everything we're about to cover.
You just have to look at the physics here to understand the stakes. A school bus, for all its size, can stop on a dime compared to a train. A fully loaded freight train, well, it can take a mile or more to come to a stop. It literally cannot stop for you. That's why the train always has the right of way. It has no other choice. And that means all the control and all the responsibility lands squarely on your shoulders.
To make sure we nail this, we've broken it all down into 5 key parts. We'll start with the why these crossings demand so much respect. Then we'll walk through your approach, the mandatory stop itself, how to cross safely, and finally, what to do when things don't go as planned.
All right, let's dig into Section 1, the driver's responsibility. This is about more than just a checklist. It's about a mindset. It's about treating every single crossing with the absolute seriousness it demands every single time.
Here's the bottom line. Your main job at a crossing is prevention. And listen, it doesn't matter if you have a full bus of kids or if you're driving an empty bus back to the yard. The procedure is always the same. You must stop at every single railroad crossing unless you see a sign that clearly marks it as exempt or abandoned. This is one rule that has absolutely no exceptions.
Okay, on to Section 2, the approach. A safe stop doesn't begin when you hit the brakes at the tracks. Nope, it starts way before that. Let's talk about the first things you need to do as you're getting close to a crossing.
This whole process kicks off early. You see that round yellow advance warning sign? That's your signal to start the sequence. About 200 feet out, click on your hazard lights. Let everyone behind you know what's coming. Then, you're going to position your bus in the farthest right lane, start slowing down, give your brakes a quick test, and quiet down the bus. And quieting the students, well, that's crucial. It's so you can hear what's going on outside.
And that brings us right to the main event, Section 3, the mandatory stop. And this is not just a quick pause. It's a very precise, step-by-step procedure that you have to execute perfectly. No shortcuts.
So, before you stop, you gotta know where to stop. Think of it as a safety bubble. You must stop no closer than 15 feet from the nearest rail, but no farther than 50 feet away. And if you see a big white stop line painted on the road, that's your mark. You stop before that line, end of story.
Okay, here it is, the 5-step procedure. You need to know this like the back of your hand. 1. Full stop right in that 15 to 50-foot zone. 2. Secure the bus. Keep your foot firmly on the service brake. 3. Open up. That means your service door and your driver's side window. 4. Go silent. Kill the radio, the fans, anything that makes noise. And 5. The whole reason we do this, look and listen. You're using your own senses to confirm the coast is clear, both ways.
Now, once you've looked, you've listened, and you are 100% certain the tracks are clear, we move into Section 4, crossing safely. You're ready to go, but even this part has its own set of critical rules.
Look at this. This rule is so important, it gets its own slide. I can't say it loud enough. Never, ever, change gears while you are on the railroad tracks. You need to pick a gear that's low enough to get you all the way across without having to shift. The risk of stalling your bus on the tracks is just, it's not worth even thinking about. Don't do it.
And here's the other big never. Don't ever put all your trust in the mechanical signals. Lights and gates are helpful, but they can fail. Your own eyes and ears are your best, most reliable safety equipment. You are the final authority. You have to do your own check no matter what the signals are doing. So let's put it all together. Here's your checklist for proceeding. First, one last glance at the signals. Second, you're in that low gear that'll power you all the way over. Third, if you're at a crossing with multiple tracks, you make absolutely sure every single track is clear. And finally, you keep that service door open, keep listening until your bus is completely and totally clear of the tracks. And finally, we're at our last section, handling the unexpected. Because let's face it, the real world doesn't always follow the script. So what do you do when a crossing throws you a curveball? Here's a pretty common one. You're approaching a crossing.
getting ready to do your full stop procedure, but you see a police officer standing there, waving traffic through. What's the protocol?
The answer here is actually pretty simple. You obey the officer. A law enforcement officer directing traffic overrides all other signs and signals. You follow their instructions, but of course, you still proceed with caution and keep your head on a swivel.
Okay, how about this situation? A train has gone by, but the lights are still flashing. Or maybe a gate is stuck in the down position. You think it's a malfunction. What's the right move now?
Here's the most important thing. You do not make this call on your own. You don't try to go around the gate. You don't guess if it's safe. Your job is simple. Stay put, get on the radio to your dispatcher, tell them exactly what's happening, and then wait for their instructions. Period.
Let's end with this thought. It's one thing to know the rules. It's another thing entirely to own them, to understand them so well they become second nature, like breathing. These procedures are your layers of safety. They protect you, and they protect every child on that bus. The real question isn't just if you know them, but can you apply them every single step without fail every single time.